employment. So over to you, sir, to give us a sense of what's happening and how it's likely to pan out.
So, you raised several issues together. The first is the economy indeed was slowing down for about 10 quarters, and, in the last quarter of last year, it had slowed down to 3.1%. And the reason was that the unorganized sector in the Indian economy, which employs 94% of the workforce and produces 45% of the output, has been suffering grievously since the time of demonetization in 2016 November. And then, the next shock came when the GST was introduced in July 2017. And then in September 2018, the non-banking financial crisis, hit the Indian economy very hard because they are the ones which do consumer finance and finance of the small and the marginal sector. They are like the shadow banks of India. So in a sense, one after the other, there were three big shocks which impacted the unorganized sector especially hard. And therefore, the demand in the Indian economy was slowing down. And because of that, capacity utilization by, about September 2019 had come down to 70%. And consumer confidence had also dipped. And that's why the rate of growth of the economy had continued to slip quarter by quarter. Now, when the pandemic came, the economy was not doing very well at that time. And pandemic meant that, imposition of lockdown from around the end of March. And it was a very hard lockdown. So people could not move. And when you can't move, you can't go to office, you can't go to factories, then production slumps. So the economy declined during lockdown by about 75%. And therefore, the rate of growth fell very sharply in April. And then it recovered slightly in May, June, but still is about 50% of GDP. And therefore, all predictions are that the rate of growth for the first quarter would be something much less than minus 20%. So the Indian economy, which was already facing headwinds, has suddenly faced this headwind of the pandemic. And in that, of course, as you said, foreign trade has declined. Exports have come down, imports have come down even more sharply. So even though there's a surplus in the trade account in the month of May, but